Did you know that people in Seattle call themselves Seattleites? Once upon a time, I had a bunch of friends and family that lived in that region of the world. I was stuck in a topic tangent for a little while, talking about copyright and rights and royalties and ways to earn from music or intellectual property. This time, we're moving forth. Welcome to another edition of Ye Old Indie Dude. This is episode number 22. Overall, it can seem like an advanced puzzle. Try and figure it all out on your own. These are always changing. Technology, society, and media along with it. As a creative, I'm always observant as to the changes. As an indie dude, I'm always researching, developing, and creating. And most importantly, learning. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff Adams. I'm a singer, songwriter, musician, poet, indie recording artist, producer, and publisher with Bucket Stomp Productions. I wanted to extend a special shout out to subscribers of the channel. Thank you so much. Welcome as well to new subscribers, passers-by, and the algorithmically chosen. I don't know if algorithmically is actually a word. I just thought it sounded neat. If you haven't had a chance to, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be that prominent red box below the screen that says subscribe. You can click that if you want. I can wait. It's just right there. Of course, in the right hand corner down there too is a little icon. You can click it anytime along the way. I really appreciate that. I post all sorts of new original indie music, studio releases, live performances and jams, live streams. I'm working this out on various platforms. Special presentations, and the mostly weekly series, Jeff Adams Indie Live. And then, of course, this series too. This is a little series where I normally speak to inspiration and motivation for the creative individual. When we allow ourselves to develop that which we can imagine, which is what creativity is, we actually become more satisfied versions of ourselves. And who doesn't want that sort of thing? Reach out and follow too on the wide range of social media options out there. I really enjoy the variety of awesome original content on YouTube. I like to listen to a lot of new music, for example. But YouTube also has helped me fix my sync. So awesome. The last episode I went into my backstory a little concise, strange indie dude history episode. I don't talk about myself all too much on this series because I'm about bringing the focus to you. If you are creative, how do you maintain focus, motivation, inspiration, tenacity, and therefore ability to be creative and then be productive? But for me, it was a matter of a simple desire, a yearning for self-expression. I knew that I was good with language and abstract ideas from a young age. My mother, she was a firm believer that everyone should know how to play an instrument. And so I started taking violin lessons at age 8. And my mother played the piano. And I began piano lessons at age 9. At such a young age, though, I was hardly interested in Beethoven and Bach. In the popular music realm, there has never been a bigger act than the Beatles. If I had a nickel for every artist out there that was inspired by the Beatles, I'd be making more than streaming royalties, having been similarly inspired. That was the impetus for me to learn how to play guitar. I was already writing poetry in abundance at a young age. Tales of long ago. I was at a music store one time, which were not only places to buy instruments and strings, you could also buy sheet music at music stores too. I saw this one book. It's called Beatles' Greatest Hits. It's this actual book. And I thought this would be a perfect start, When I looked at the book itself, I noticed that it not only had the score are these little lines and sticks and things. That's called a score. But it also had tabs above the score. What are tabs? Tabs, it's short for tablature. Or in other words, a little table that demonstrates the way these chords are put together, and how the notes are played in the score on the guitar. It was by way of these tabs, basically, and it was these tabs that I learned how to play chords. A little sidebar. Bought this probably like 40 some years ago for $4.95. And it has all sorts of correct copyright attributions for BMI Music and things like that within there for the songs themselves. It was produced in 1979 by ATV Music Publications. Over time, I realized that many of the progressions for the songs listed in that book are either not in the correct key or not correct at all. But for the purposes of learning some basic chords, it worked out just fine. Of course, once chords came into play, it was just a matter of time before I began applying my own melody lines and experimenting with different progressions of chords. As a self-taught guitarist with a little music knowledge beforehand, I realized it's a combination of notes that go together to make a chord. Also, with any instrument, it's important to have a decent familiarity with scales. But that's just the initial approach to guitar from ages ago. It's been 40 years since then, and more than a few bumps along the way. So I speak to inspiration and motivation because outside influences can be so overwhelming that the creativity can suffer, whether it be financial, emotional, situational, medical. All of these have a bearing on how we feel. We feel more positively inside, healthy self-esteem ensues. The more clearly we see ourselves, the less weighed down by negative self-talk, the more productive we can be in any field we apply ourselves. This is especially true of creative individuals or people in leadership roles. Productivity in this arena boils down to the ability to manifest new ideas. I think it comes down to filtering out negative external stimuli to a degree. The flutter of activity in the lives of all those around us invariably causes a focus that can be a little varied. I like to use the word multitudinal. Just like that, sorry. I had a memo pad a few years ago that had a simple little drawing on it. It was like an elephant with 6 turkeys on top of it. It said, "Don't let the turkeys get you down." I always found that to be a helpful thing to remember, even though I never even knew where it came from. It was just some notepad I'd gotten in a store somewhere. The expression in the drawing I noticed are linked to a book by the same name by Sandra Boynton. I'll put a link in the description. The expression is a take on another old saying which has the attribution of unknown. Let me know if you see otherwise somewhere, and I'll link to it, of course. But the expression is, it's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys. So, in the realm of focus and motivation, inspiration, surround yourself with positive people. Basically the idea on that one. But in regards to circumstances and reactions that are beyond our control, if things feel like they're overwhelming, you just take one thing at a time, right? Accomplish one task and then another. Clear your mind of outside considerations that would distract you from your task. You make lists. Keep a work journal. Make use of your calendar. Organization of one's thoughts, ideas, tasks, and goals is an excellent way to measure growth and make necessary adjustments towards improvement. You have to believe in yourself and what you're doing. I say this sort of thing all the time. It's not a matter of an overbearing self-confidence to the point of acting like an egomaniac. The expression, blowing your own horn, toot your own horn, comes to mind. While it's important to be self-confident, it's just as important to stay humble. We've all been through unknown stuff that needs to be respected. Having self-confidence in what you're doing, however, is crucial to being able to do it, maintaining that healthy self-esteem. Boasting and feeling superior to others around you isn't a sign of too much self-esteem. It's more likely evidence of insecurity and low self-esteem. But remember, there is no one else that's exactly like you in this entire world. And that makes you incredibly special. Embrace who you are, and remember to love who you are. Make sure to hit subscribe if you found any information in this video or this series or this channel entertaining and or inspiring. This sort of thing has something to do with the algorithm, which is why I'm so good at the confused stare. But please click the bell icon to be notified when I post new content, which is fairly often. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.